No words. Embarrassing, pathetic, disgraceful, awful, shit, crap. Every word to describe Manchester United this evening. Sevilla 3, Manchester United 0. The reaction to the UEFA Europa League quarter-final second leg. Manchester United have gone crashing out of Europe again. 6 years without a European trophy. Embarrassed by Sevilla, 3-0 away in Spain this evening. Sums up this football club. It sums up how embarrassing we were today, and it shows how pathetic this football club standards have got to in the last few years. This today is on those players. It's on that squad. The blame cannot be put on Erik ten Hag. The squad he went with today was the best squad he had available to him. And for Manchester United to perform the way they did away in Spain, again in front of 3.5 Manchester United fans who travelled with all their heart and passion and desire for Manchester United to go and clinch a semi-final place in the Europa League, to go crashing out of Europe the way they did. Absolutely pathetic, absolutely embarrassing, and quite frankly, United are an absolute disgrace to the footballing world yet again this evening on this planet. Absolutely embarrassed from minute one. That team was all over the shot. As soon as the game started, Manchester United fell apart from minute one. There was no passion, there was no hunger, there was no desire, and that team deserves to get every bit of shit and every bit of crap and every bit of criticism they deserve this evening, because that Man United side showed to you that they don't care. Those players don't care. That squad doesn't care. Those players gave up today, just like they did away against Liverpool, away against Man City, and again away to Sevilla. A winnable game that Man United really should have got themselves into the semi-finals of the Europa League. And to play like that the way they did, hang your fucking heads in shame. If this is the Manchester United of new, I'm absolutely sick of those players. I'm sick of that squad. I'm sick with a terrible, pathetic, and quite frankly, embarrassing, shocking performance that they put in 90 minutes today. Absolutely embarrassing from a minute go. There's no words to describe how crap we were this evening. That team gave up on the fans. That team gave up on the supporters. That team basically shoved the performance right in front of the fans' faces and basically didn't even try to make a comeback after being 1-0 down. To concede a sloppy second goal with David De Gea's absolutely abysmal positioning in goal. And then to concede the third goal as well with David De Gea rushing out like he's just won the lottery from his outside of his front door. To run out the way he did and to slip on the ball of the Sevilla strikers have a clear shot on goal to put into an empty Manchester United net. That Man United side have shown to the world again today that the standards of this football club haven't changed. That leopard, that football club has not changed its spots. Manchester United are a complete disgrace. They deserve what they got this evening. They deserve to get absolutely battered the way they did. They deserve every bit of shit they get tonight. And I beg the fans and the supporters to go and target that football club, go and target the brand, go and target the sponsors, and go and target that team. Because I tell you what, those players get away with so much shit performances like this that they get their ego protected, they get their hand held for them. And to play the way they did in 90 minutes, Man United didn't turn up. As soon as the first whistle went, Man United basically threw down the towel, down tools, and basically said, you know what, we're not going to try, we're not going to show any passion, we're not going to show any heart, we're not going to show any desire, and basically we're going to shit on the fans, we're going to shit on the supporters, and basically give up the way we usually do. And the same old mistakes, the same old errors, the same old crap is continuing to surface in this first team. Man United got their just desserts today. When you throw away a first leg lead, when you're 2-0 up on aggregate, and then to go away to Spain and then throw it away and get battered 3-0 by Sevilla, that shows that Man United didn't even want to play that game. It shows those players didn't really care tonight. Basically, what's happened is everyone's got hyped about winning the Carabao Cup, and basically all the results since then have been down tools under the manager, down tools under the fans, down tools under the supporters, and we've had to witness an embarrassment from that Manchester United side yet again. Those 11 players on that pitch today should hang their heads in shame. In the second half substitutes as well, what an embarrassment to bring on an injury-prone Marcus Rashford, an injury-prone Luke Shaw, a crap Alanga, a crap Weghorst, and basically abysmal midfielder in Fred. That summed up Manchester United's night as a whole. And then to play Diego Dalot and Wan-Bissaka at right back and left back, where clearly it didn't work yet again today. It showed that this team is not changing. The standards are still as shit as ever. And the manager we have is being let down by the squad. He's being let down by those players. And unfortunately, yet again, he's being let down by a board and owners that don't give one fuck about this football club. They're draining the club dry. The fans and supporters are having to witness this shit ownership for the last 18 years, and nothing has changed since then. 2 shit transfer windows in a row has basically derailed any chance of winning another trophy this season, because playing like that on Sunday against Brighton in the FA Cup, it will show that Man United side will get absolutely ripped apart again and again and again and again and again. That for Manchester United tonight was just simply nowhere near good enough. They basically crumbled with the first kick of the ball. They didn't want to try. They didn't want to show up. They didn't want to try and get themselves a Europa League semi-final spot. They basically thought, you know what, we don't really need to win another trophy. What are the fans and supporters moaning about? But these players get paid ridiculous amount of wages a week, and they play like that in front of the 3,500 travelling fans like that who have put in all their hard time and money and efforts in to travel out to Spain, giving up time off work and giving up time for their jobs and families and friends and everything, just to go and watch that pile of wank perform like that. That pile of dog shit perform on that pitch today. They were absolutely dog shit from the midfield to the defence to the attack and to that goalkeeper. I tell you what, some of those players need a massive, massive wake-up call. They are an absolute disgrace to the shirt. They're a disgrace to the badge, and basically decide, you know what, we're going to down tools again this evening, just like the Liverpool result, just like the Man City result, and many, many more results along. Because I tell you what, performances like this are going to carry on through the rest of the season, and unfortunately, nothing's going to change. And don't expect this football club to win anything more this season, because the standards are on the floor. It's unacceptable, and it's not fair on the fans. It's not fair on supporters. They should be getting a fucking refund from tonight, because those players don't care. Those players have gave up once again tonight. They're an absolute disgrace to the badge. And if they get shit tonight, I applaud the fans. If they get what they get deserved on Twitter, absolutely applaud it. Because I'll tell you what, enough is enough, and embarrassment this team still is. This team is lacking so much quality. This team has got no leadership. It's got no quality. It's got no captain. It's got no role model. It's got no inspiration. It hasn't got that one player that can absolutely turn things around. But as soon as you saw that team selection tonight and you saw the team Tanag went with, I knew we weren't winning that game, and I knew we were not going to come away with the result. And especially when you have got injury-prone players yet again who come onto the pitch, are given a chance under this manager, a fresh new start, a fresh new term, and basically the players that are always injured are carrying on to pick up injury after injury. And yet again, 2 of those players that were given a chance under this manager have limped off yet again with injury, basically showing to them they're done at this football club, and probably their futures are now up for grabs. Because I'll tell you what, those players have really, really let themselves down tonight. Not just themselves, but the fans and supporters. And I'll tell you what, I would not be surprised if Erik ten Hag was to give them an absolute rocket after this, and absolutely give them a rocket of ego wake-up call, and a wake-up call that is going to give those players a massive heart attack. Because I'll tell you what, watching that team tonight was like someone having a heart attack. That was so painful to watch. The outcome is nigh, and they're not going to survive. That was Man United start from start to finish. They basically had a heart attack soon as the game started, and this is why Man United crumbled. They went there with no passion, and they decided not to try. Those players gave up. Not one of those players going to hang their heads held high. All of them were shit tonight, from Casemiro to Sabitzer to Eriksen to Anthony to Sancho to Weghorst to Luke Shaw to Marcus Rashford, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw, David De Gea, Diego Dalot, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Those players can't come out with anything tonight. They really, really can't, because they were just the same old players causing the same old mistakes, the same old errors that are continuing not to be surfaced throughout the dressing room. They're just all snakes in the weeds, and that team is showing that, unfortunately, this team isn't going to go anywhere near title contenders. We are going to get dicked in the Champions League next season playing like this. The Europa League is basically our level, and those players don't want to try. And that's fine if they don't want to try, but at least show some heart, at least show some fight, and at least show a little bit of passion towards those Man United fans tonight. Because I tell you what, we are the ones hurting from your abysmal pile of dog shit that we've watched for 94 fucking minutes tonight, where we could have been enjoying time with friends and family, and we have to witness your dog shit being shat on that fucking Sevilla pitch. Because I tell you what, Sevilla absolutely played you off the park. It was like watching an under-5 school team perform better than that Man United team tonight. They would perform better. They would show heart. They would show fight. Man United would offer a lot more better performances if you had an under-5 school team playing for them tonight, because they would actually try. They would fight for the shirt. They would fight for the badge. But too many of these performances are simply not acceptable under this manager. It's not Erik ten Hag's fault. You look at the depleted squad, the injuries, the suspension. That hasn't helped all season. The Premier League, UEFA, FIFA, the Football League, the FA need a hard-on look at this as well, because the amount of games we are having to play in 3 days is absolutely ludicrous. It's not fair on the manager. It's not fair on this team. Other teams are suffering the same consequences as us, and it's not fair on them either. There needs to be a winter break. There needs to be at least a month and a half off with no football, because I'll tell you what, this same old results, this same old crap under Man United will keep resurfacing on the football pitch with more results like this. And the results could now go backwards because we haven't got no centre-backs. We've basically got no midfield. The attack is shit. And basically, I've got a goalkeeper here who wants to sign a new contract at the club and basically doesn't want to accept reduced terms of wage and money. After that tonight, David De Gea is done. Absolutely abysmal from David De Gea. His positioning for the 2 goals that he conceded in the second half, absolutely abysmal. What was David De Gea thinking coming running out of goal like that the way they did? And De Gea slips. He gives a clear open goal for the Sevilla striker to put it in to make it free. The game was fucking over from then. Soon as we went 1-0 down, Man United didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to turn. They didn't know when to shoot. They didn't know when to pass. They were just sloppy everywhere. Every position in that team has to be improved in the summer. If we've got this team in the summer, I will be very, very surprised if they did, because I'll tell you what, that team does not deserve any more chances under this manager. No more Maguire, no more Lindelof, no more Luke Shaw, no more Delo, no more Wan-Bissaka. Keep that midfield of Sabitzer, Ericsson, Fernandez and Casemiro. Scrap Jadon Sancho, sell Martial, get rid of Alanga, get rid of Weghorst, and get rid of many, many more weak mentality, egotistic players who live up their own ass crack, having to get their own shovel to dig up their own shit so they don't get constipated. That was like watching Man United tonight. We were absolutely constipated. We need a big, massive shit. We can't shit the shit out. And they decided to shit that shit out tonight on that Sevilla pitch. United basically didn't want to show you any fight. They thought, you know what? If we can take this to extra time, we'll get the late winning goal and we'll get through. But to go 1-0 down the way they did, it was just, what was David De Gea thinking, as well as Harry Maguire? I mean, fucking hell. De Gea plays a ludicrous ball to Harry Maguire. Maguire doesn't even look to see what he's got around him. And then he's got 3 bloody Sevilla players pouncing on him like a cat chasing a pigeon. The cat has actually caught the pigeon and has got some fresh poultry to eat. Harry Maguire got absolutely eaten alive by those 3 Sevilla players. He didn't know what to do. And this is the problem. You're giving that guy your captain's armband, and he ain't no captain, he ain't no leader, and he ain't no role model. And basically, you think that's acceptable to keep picking a fucking useless fridge like that at centre-back in Harry Maguire, who is going to cost this club severely for the rest of the season due to the pure fact we've got no Raphael Varane, we've got no Lisandro Martinez, and basically we are back to the defence of what Solskjaer and Ralph Rangnick had to work with. That really is not acceptable. That's not fair on the manager. This is not Erik ten Hag's fault we are out of this tonight. It's those players. It's that team. They didn't want to try and win the Europa League. They basically thought that if we've got it 2-2, let's get to extra time and we can grab the goal, we will be fine. Man United basically thought, you know what? If we beat Real Betis away and we've beat Barcelona, there's going to be no problem going to Sevilla and winning. Sevilla have had one of their worst seasons ever in the Liga. They've been shocking from day number 1 and game number 1. They're currently mid-table trying to survive and not get relegated from the Liga for the first time ever. And Man United have been absolutely trashed by a mid-table Spanish team that had to sack their manager just to get out alive. And you look at that Sevilla team, it's completely and utterly transformed. Lamela, Rakitic, El Nazari. You look at that Sevilla team and it's just got quality written all over it. Where was the quality in that team tonight? It was nowhere to be seen. It was like playing the worst game of hide and seek ever. It was like watching the same old Man United under Solskjaer. Nothing's changed. The style of football hasn't changed. And the same old players will let you down. And it's resurfaced again. Erik ten Hag really should not have had to use Harry Maguire. He shouldn't have had to use Victor Lindelof. He should not be having to use shitty Aaron Wan-Bissaka and useless Diego Dalot. You shouldn't have to be using pathetic Jadon Sancho, useless Martial, and awful Anthony Elanga. You shouldn't have to be using the BFG's best friend, the Iron Giant, and Wout Weghorst, who's probably been the worst signing ever this football club has ever made. But due to the fact, yet again, Anthony Martial is back for 3 games, and all of a sudden, Martial has gone off injured again. Welcome back to the medical room, Anthony Martial. What a flop. What a disgrace. What a player that doesn't give one fuck about this club. He can't put the ball in the net. He's a pathetic goal-scoring striker. He can't even get called up to the French national team because he's a complete pile of wank. He's absolutely awful as a footballer and has gone off injured yet again. And you wonder why we are not scoring goals. You wonder why we are not putting the ball in the net. Well, come on down, ladies and gentlemen. This is Man United for you. They have not changed one bit. Those players do not want to show you they've got any fight left in them. It's not fair on the manager. And I tell you what, if Erik ten Hag were to walk away at the end of the season, I would applaud him out of Old Trafford because those players have shown to him tonight in clear indication those players' futures now are massively up in the air due to the pure bloody fact they don't show any fight. There is no passion in that team. And those players think they can get away with this tonight. Well, I'm telling you now, you're not getting it away from my fucking side of things. Because I'll tell you what, you are going to get called out for the pile of shit. I'll tell you what, we have got some good players, but they didn't even perform tonight. United just didn't have no chemistry. We had no rating. They just thought, you know what, we'll try and counter-attack Sevilla on the counter-attack. We'll let them attack us, and then we'll try and defend and clear the ball out. We couldn't even make a simple 2-yard pass to our teammates. And it's like, what is going on? It was a completely night and day finish from the Nottingham Forest game. We played so well against Nottingham Forest. We deserved that win. And all of a sudden, they've come up against Sevilla like, shit, we don't know what to do here. We can't keep playing like this. We can't keep playing week in, week out. We can't keep winning. But the thing is, you didn't even try to win. You basically said, well, do you know what? At least we've won the Carabao Cup. At least we've got that. We don't really need anything else now. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, you do, because the Carabao Cup is not good enough. And playing like that, don't be surprised if we bottle top 4. Do not be surprised if we don't win on Sunday, because playing like that, Brighton are going to be rubbing their hands together thinking, do you know what? Right, we can beat Manchester United. Playing like that, Man United are going to be vulnerable from minute go. They know that they're in deep shit now. They know that Brighton side are going to be up for it. They know this is going to be a tough game on Sunday. But if you pick that team and you pick those players, I can see the same result happening again. Brighton are going to be all over Man United because they basically didn't want to try. Those players don't care about how badly they perform. They don't care about their contracts. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about the supporters. Those fans deserve a fucking refund in full for the tickets, the food, the cost of travel, everything that they've had to give up out of their own pocket just to watch that pile of dog poo perform on the pitch. And people think, oh, do you know what? Players do need protection. You can't criticise them. You can't slam them on Twitter. Players get what they fucking deserve, in my opinion, because they do. They can't keep getting away with things like this in life. It's not fair. It's not acceptable. Those players deserve every bit of shit they get called on Twitter. I'm sorry. They deserve what they get. You can't sit there and protect them and hold their hand for them. They're a fucking professional human being. They're a professional footballer who earn ridiculous, over-reduced wages that they don't fucking deserve. I wouldn't even pay those players a fiver tonight. Because I tell you what, they will perform like that on Sunday. We'll be at the FA Cup as well, but they'll be like, oh, at least we've won the Carabao Cup. We've got top 4. We're back in the Champions League. Look at us. We're back. We're bounced back. We'll bounce back. We'll bounce more in the back more than a fucking trampoline. That isn't acceptable, Manchester United. We're meant to be getting back to the top under this manager. That manager has got nothing to work with because the board have thrown him under the bus, the owners have thrown him under the bus, and basically said, you're going to have to get by with what you've got till the end of the season because we've got the club for sale. Can't afford any more players. The money and the pennies have dried up in the piggy bank. You've got to improve that pile of dog poo you've got. And they were dog poo. It's like having the runs. It's like having the shit. Man United had more runs than a fucking pile of shit floating down the toilet sink. It's absolutely unfair that they performed the way they did. We did not deserve that to witness that. And Man United fans, I'm going to be sat there as much as you thinking, it went wrong from so many times that United simply just... This wasn't the Man United we've witnessed in the last few games, but it doesn't surprise me. We have gone out of this. I had a bad feeling that we wouldn't win this game. I had a bad feeling about this game that in that team tonight, there's going to be players in that team that simply are going to fail, and they failed miserably yet again. And if those players want to carry on playing like that, then be my guest, because fans and supporters will not stick around for that crap. Those fans and supporters are probably sat there thinking, we've won our last few games convincingly against Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Everton. We bottled a 2-0 lead at home in the Champions League quarter-final first leg. And all of a sudden, Manchester United have miles backwards than what we thought ever was imaginable. And those players tonight are going to be, of course that is probably going to be the most awkward plane journey home tonight to Manchester. Because I tell you what, I would not be speaking to those players. I would be telling them, you all shut your mouths, no words, no, don't say anything. Because you know what? I'm embarrassed for that fan base. We don't deserve that. It's just, that was just watching the old habits return. That was like watching an old box set of repeated TV series that somehow still got on the TV because the BT and Sky schedules are disgraceful. That was like watching old highlights of Man United played under David Moyes. It felt like that era was bad. It just felt like we were playing David Moyes' style of football. That did not look like an Eric Ten Hag team performance. And those players, you know, are going to get a rocket off the manager. That manager, you couldn't buy the face expression of Eric Ten Hag that, you know, that was just, wow, what the fuck was that? What was that? I mean, he's probably lost words himself because he got the players up for the game. They knew that this result was important, and they knew that, you know what, if we don't win this game, then you know what, it's not the end of end all. Ten Hag's going to be sat there scratching head thinking, I've got to get with this squad till the end of May. I mean, we're only a month away from the end of the season, and maybe going out the Europa League is going to be a blessing in disguise for Manchester United, but playing like that was just, oh my God, embarrassing. I've got no words to say how pathetic that actually was. That was just like watching the Manchester United of old. It was just like watching under Van Gaal, Mourinho and Moyes and Ranić and Solskjaer. It just felt like those players just didn't want to show any fight. They didn't want to try for you. They didn't care about how they performed. They couldn't go head to toe with Sevilla. I mean, Alex Telles has got further in Europe than what Man United have done this season. That says a lot about a player who is on loan at Sevilla. That says a lot. That shows the standards of Sevilla compared to Man United. Those Sevilla players did not fear Man United tonight. They did not fear them. And Sevilla knew the 2 goals they got at Old Trafford in the first leg was going to help them. As soon as they got that first goal, and please subscribe if you're new, by the way, let's get this channel up to 600 subscribers before the end of 2023 issue. It would be massively appreciated. And hit the like button on this video as well to absolutely justify the points and views being made on this video, because it just, that was just, I've got no words to say how bad Manchester United actually were. It was just so bad, and it was just so wrong. We didn't see that coming the way they did, but Sevilla had took confidence in the first leg. They took it in the second leg because they thought, right, if Man United can concede these 2 goals, they can concede goals away to us and we can go on and win this game. Sevilla outclassed that Man United team. And you look at that team and you look at the players. You've got Sabitzer, Eriksen and Casemiro in the midfield 3. Eriksen, Sabitzer, what on earth happened to them tonight? No urgency with the ball. The possession with the ball was dreadful. The amount of silly and floppy passes in possession we made, which we gave the ball away from, that was the whole downfall to that midfield. And I don't know what's happened to Casemiro either. The last few games, he's been in that CDM position, and he's absolutely crumbled away in front of Manchester United fans. And then you look at that attack. Sancho, I mean, get fucking rid. I mean, £75 million from Borussia Dortmund, and he can't produce in a Man United shirt. Isn't it about time that we hit the nail on the head of Jadon Sancho? He needs to be sold in the summer. For me, time is up. Enough is enough of that bottle job England left and right winger who can't even get an England team because he's crap. And you look at him in a Man United shirt, there is no confidence, there is no ability, there is no skill. That Jadon Sancho is not the Jadon Sancho I thought we brought to Man United. That Jadon Sancho's career has collapsed since he's moved to this club and has been an abysmal signing this club should have never made. Absolute waste of 75 fucking million down the drain. And you then look at Weghorst. I mean, bringing him on when the game is gone ain't going to offer no goal scoring threat, and basically we're trying to shut up shop. I mean, we've got to try and find a goal and a comeback through Weghorst. And I mean, a worse signing that anyone could ever made, and Man United had to do it. The worst signing ever this club has ever made, in my opinion. This was worse than signing Di Maria. This was worse than signing Falcao. Honestly, that signing should have never been made to happen. Absolute embarrassment up front tonight. No work ethic, no work rate, doesn't do a job up front. His body strength is just less superior than those Sevilla players. And you look at the age of some of those Sevilla players, and you look at the age of some of those Man United players. It felt like Sevilla had turned into Man United and we turned into Sevilla for the first leg. We crumbled as soon as the first goal went in. It's because Man United thought, you know what, we can wrap this first leg up. And this game could have been so different. If we would have found that third goal in the first leg, this tie's over. We're through to the semi-finals. And you dread to think, like, what would have happened next if we would have got through, because the options this team had for the semi-final and the draw had already been made in the previous quarter-final and semi-final draw. It was lethargic. It was just wow. And we would have ended up facing Juventus anyway, so we would have probably gone out next round anyway. So United have blown a massive opportunity to win a second trophy under this manager. And that manager is going to be hurt because he has to pick the team, he has to pick the squad. But with that tonight, it showed that Ten Hag has got a serious job in the summer. And I dread, if the Glazers are still here, they will not get the players the manager wants. We won't get back to the summer transfer window. And if the Qataris do not come in and save us, I dread what is going to happen next, because that team needs a rebuild. We need 2 new centre-backs, 2 new right-backs, 2 new left-backs. We need 2 world-class midfielders. We need 2 strikers. We need a backup goalkeeper, or even a brand new number 1 goalkeeper, because I'll tell you what, you can't trust De Gea. Luke Shaw, yet again, is injured. Only just come back from injury and has gone off injured again. More injury prone than Phil Jones. Back for 1 game and Luke Shaw's already limped out, and they've given him a brand new 4-year contract. Not justified to give him it when he's severely injury prone. Maguire, I mean, an absolute fridge at the back, keeps opening up his defence more than something else. Lindelof ain't someone you can get any, crucial performance out of. Diego Dalot gets all this hype from his goal against Nottingham Forest, takes it to his head, and his performances collapse. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 50 million down the drain again from another useless, wankful right back that doesn't deserve a place in this team. Midfield, we are basically stuck with what we've got because Scott McTominay is useless, doesn't want to be in this team. For me, he isn't injured. He's been told his time's up and he's going to be sold in the summer. Sabitzer, Eriksson were just nowhere near it tonight. Casemiro was the same. And you know what? That front three as well, it was just dreadful from minute 1. It was just no attacking threat, no goal threat, no excitement. And you know what? The only one that really tried in that first half was probably Anthony, was probably our best player by an absolute mile from the others, because He was actually trying. He was actually tracking back, doing his defensive role, getting in that attacking position that we needed to put the ball into the box. But as a whole, that team there was no threat to win that game for our side. There was just nothing from Man United tonight. It was just shit from a minute go. And I'm embarrassed for the fans because they've got to travel all the way back now to where they all live, and you've paid a lot of money. And if that football club have got any justification from tonight, refund the fans in full and give them back their money. Because I tell you what, those players now realise the shit they're going to get. I would applaud it. I would absolutely applaud the shit they are going to get after this because they deserve it. Those players deserve what they get. Don't sit there and protect their egos. Don't hold their hand for them. They're grown human beings. They know how to deal with criticism, but you cannot protect them tonight. They were just shambles, absolutely shambles. And these players think that, do you know what? The tide's turning. The future looks bright with them in that team. Well, I'm telling you now, lads, after that tonight, some of you ain't got no future. You lot are an absolute shambles, which you've now announced to the whole world. In front of the whole globe, you have announced yourself as, we are shit. We are useless. We are pathetic. We are crap. And after those players were just, you can't state how bad that was. David De Gea, I mean, doesn't look like the goalkeeper he once used to be. Absolutely. We should have gone there and went full attack. This is where it went wrong. It's like we just let us sit back and we let Sevilla attack us. It's like, yet again, Man United got too cocky for their own game. And unfortunately, Sevilla saw that cockiness and thought, right, Man United think they've got this one. Think a fucking again. There was just nothing from that side. There was nothing from that team. And I'm sat here thinking, could this get any worse? And it probably will now, because this is where the season, in my opinion, is going to absolutely derail, because that today shows that there is so much to do at this club that I think Ten Hag ain't going to be able to fix, because at the end of the day, is he going to get any money in the summer to spend? Probably not. And apparently we've got to sell to buy. And I'm fed up like people from Sky Sports like Melissa Reddy, Darmar Chef, Carvey Solokol, saying Man United have got to sell to buy, Man United have got to sell to buy, Man United have got to sell to buy because of financial fair play. Do not believe those blue tick bottle jobs who think they're good at their job role on Sky saying Man United have got to be careful because of financial fair play restrictions. It's a complete load of wank. Man United do not need to sell any players this summer to buy. When the Qataris take over and buy this football club, debt will be gone. The club will have shitloads of money to spend. We don't need to sell. Don't believe that bullshit excuse that those three main Sky Sports journalists come out with and say, Man United have to sell to buy just to buy players in the summer. It's a complete load of bullshit, because they know Man United will be on the way back under brand new ownership who's got shitloads of money to spend. And basically, we are going to turn into the new Manchester City, where we spend loads of money on great players that this team needs. But eventually, that team will crumble tonight. And if I was those players, I would come out and give a wholehearted apology for the fans tonight for witnessing that, because you've really shown again that you're completely naive of your own performance, your own game, and your own ego. You're in it for the money. You don't care. You're in it for your wage packet. You're taking a lot living out this club. You're a liability in the team. And some of you players don't want to step up when going gets tough. Those players do not step up when the most precious players are out. Without Lisandro Martinez, without Raphael Varane, we look miles off where we should be at centre-back. Our best two centre-backs are two winning World Cup centre-backs that no one else has got this season in the Premier League, as well as what was in the Europa League and the FA Cup. We're the only ones that have got two World Cup winning centre-backs. And without them, we can't defend. We've got no leadership at the back. We've got no clean sheets to be able to keep, because that defence can't keep the ball out the back of the net because of their poor in-game ability to defend properly. And you've got world-class players in there that are making schoolboy error mistakes. And that was like watching a school under-5 team getting absolutely destroyed by a college team. That was how bad it looked. Schoolboy errors led to schoolboy mistakes. in the defence, in the midfield. We just couldn't get hold of the ball. We couldn't dominate possession. Basically, we went there with no game plan, down to those bunch of idiots playing in that United shirt. If you can play so well in the first leg, why couldn't you have taken that first leg home lead, which you should have come with, and take it into second leg? Because Man United thought, you know what, we're going to batter them at home. When it was 2-0, we should have made it 3-4-5. Man United would have been through tonight, no matter what the result. But Man United identically have paid the price for their shit wank of a performance. And it was wank. It was absolutely shit. It was no go United, no energy United. That wasn't Manchester United. We're not a United team. It's just individual egos overtaking yet again the whole season, thinking they're the big I am. Oh, look at me. Look at me. I'm at Man United. Look at me. I'm Harry Maguire. I've got the captain's armband. Look at me at centre-back trying to defend. De Gea and Harry Maguire at cost for the first goal. De Gea really should have just blasted the ball away. And Maguire really should have looked round and see what attacking threats Sevilla had around him. That was a downfall from a minute go. As soon as we conceded that first goal, it all went tits up. Because we didn't think we were going to concede a goal like that straight away. But we did, because United are trying to play out the back. And the problem is we are passing the ball back so much that this is what Van Gaal did. And we're seeing it all over again. That's not down to the manager. That's down to those players being able to perform what Ten Hag's looking for. Those players are not listening. Those players do not want to learn Ten Hag's formation. They don't want to learn Ten Hag's style of play. They basically think that they're better than everyone. Well, I'm sorry, lads. Bit of reality check here. You were woeful. Bit of reality check that some of you players are crap. Some of you do not play as a team. It's all about individual ego performance, and it's about you're the big I am. You're better than everyone else, and you think that you're amazing, and your name's up in lights. You wouldn't even get on Broadway with that performance. That was so shit. It was just embarrassing for Manchester United. There are no excuses from that team tonight. And Man United can leak their PR like this as much as they want tonight. We're not falling for it. That blame is not on the manager. Don't dare, Man United fans, pinpoint this on Eric Ten Hag. He's having to work with a wank pile of dog poo for the rest of the season. No backing in January. No backing in the 2022 summer transfer window. Basically, got to improve that pile of dog shit and improve that shit and make that shit a lot more cleaner and a lot more sophisticated in performances. It was just ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. I cannot stand some of these players being given a chance anymore. The dead wood needs to be cleared. The dead wood needs to be fired. If some of these players' contracts need terminating, please fucking do us all a favour and do it. No more chances, FC. This is Manchester United Football Club. This isn't me. I am United. This is about playing as a team. The only leader we have got in that team is basically Fernandes. Without him in that midfield tonight, it cost us severely. If Fernandes was fit and he would have started that game, this game would have ended differently. United would have won and we would have been through to the semi-finals. We've got dicked on aggregate. This is the third time this season we have conceded more than 5 goals in a game over 2 legs. Man City, Liverpool, and now Sevilla. How many more names are we adding to that list? Because playing like that, you're not beating Brighton on Sunday. Next Thursday, you ain't beating Spurs. And forget Chelsea at home because you're going to get dicked by them as well. And it's a wake-up call. Those players need a rocket up their ass. There is no excuses for tonight. You cannot let them get away and just sit there and hold their hand for them. They don't deserve any justification from that game tonight. Absolutely disgraceful. Those fans are probably sat there thinking why it all went wrong. And now it went wrong from minute 1. It just went wrong completely. That first goal went in. United crumbled away more than a Maryland cookie biscuit. Absolutely pathetic. If those players get shit tonight, I'm going to applaud every person that does it. And I beg fans and supporters, go and target those players. Go target them. Go and target the brand. Go and target the football club. Go and target those owners that you're not doing enough about to get rid of. Because the fan base have got some part of this tonight. This fan base, these supporters, you're not doing enough. You're not. Face reality, some of you fans that call yourself Manchester United fans, basically glazer-in fanboys who basically renew your season tickets, go and buy the shirts, go and buy the kit, go and buy the merchandise, go and watch games. What are you doing about it to get rid of these owners? Have we seen any of the protests over the last 2 months? No. Apparently, we're not going to do any protest till the Villa home game. Well, not being funny, you should be doing protest on Sunday. That's Brighton. You need to be doing protest next Thursday away to Spurs. At home to Villa as well. We need to be protesting every game. This fan base has got some part to blame for this mess. Because you're not doing enough to get rid of the clueless shits that run this club. If you want the Glazers gone, you don't go and buy the kit. You don't go buy the shirts. You don't go and watch matches, and you don't renew your season tickets. You have got no right doing it. It's fucking wrong. If you want the Glazers gone, you spend no money. You don't buy the kit. You don't buy the shirt. You don't renew your season tickets, and you do protest every fucking game we have now. Home away, home away. You protest and get these owners out. Because they're the biggest problem this club has got, and you're not doing anything about it. I am behind every part of getting this owners out. And please subscribe, by the way, in the chat, by the way. Thank you. Couldn't agree more. This fan base ain't doing enough. Jacob in the chat, please subscribe to the channel if you're new, because you're absolutely fucking bang on. You're not doing enough as a fan base to force these owners out. If you're truly committed to the cause, don't but spend any money on this club. Don't buy the shirt. Don't buy the kit. Don't do fucking anything. Because that tonight is the biggest problem we've got. We haven't got the players. We haven't got the fans, right fans, to do this. Because the fan base has got no balls, has got no guts, and doesn't want to decide to grow a pair to do any protests. And you sat there at home with your friends and your family, your own kids, your sons, your daughters. Please, can we have the new Man United kit? And people are saying, yeah, because it's their kids. I'm sorry. They need to be taught. They need to be told. No. Stop stamping your fucking authority. This football club is in a fucking mess because of those twats that run the club. And you're letting them get away with it because you spend money in the football club and you put it straight back into the Glazers' pockets. They're going to walk out of there with fuckloads of money because of poor owners like that run this club dry. And no wonder we perform shit like that, because there's been no money left, apparently. When deep down I called out on Twitter, because I am on Twitter and I'm on TikTok, I called out the other day, this club needs to stop using excuses to get away with shit like this. This club's PR team is ludicrously a joke. They get away with so much shit that they think's acceptable. It's not. This is so unfair on the fans. This is not fair on the supporters as well, because we are trying so fucking hard to get what we want, the Glazers to be gone out of this club, and we're not doing enough. I am behind every Glazer out movement that is possible. I am behind every bit to get these owners removed. I am behind everything to remove these owners, because I am sick to the core that this club keeps fucking doing the same old shit. Things are not improving. Things are only going to get worse before it gets better. And people then wonder why Man United do not win trophies. We don't win titles because this is the same mess this club has been in for 18 fucking years. We've not won a European trophy for 6 fucking years. That is basically a double hat trick in one game. And people wonder why we are in the mess we're in. Why are we in the mess we're in? Because the fans are not doing enough. Those fans were buying that team tonight. They sang their fucking hearts out. And I applaud it, because we are the best fucking fan base in the world of global football. We are the best fans, the best supporters. Right? But the problem is we've got fans who are so two fucking faced that want the Glazers out, but still go and get tickets for games. Go and watch us every home game, every away game, European games. Buys the shirt, buy the kit. Do you see me buying a kit this season? No, because we've got a horrible green bogey kit. We've got a shitty home shirt and a horrible away kit. I have not spent one single penny on this club this season because I am fed up with the owners and I'm fed up with the board. Because that team is crying out for quality. It lacked quality in every single department. Because there's no money left, the club have thought, right, do you know what? We're not going to back the manager in January. We're not going to give him any players because we're selling up. If Erik ten Hag has got any balls or any guts, go into that boardroom and the owner's room and demand they sell this club. Because Ten Hag wants to get things right. He wants to be the manager that gets this club back to where it should be. We're not going to do it if the fans aren't putting in the effort to do it either. And the fans aren't willing to give up the all time. You should be a Man United fan. Some fans call themselves Manchester United fans, but what are you doing about it? Because you're not. That team is suffering because of poor players, poor squad, and a Deadwood team that's got less passion than a couple in a relationship. My fucking TV's got more fucking passion than Man United because the quality of the programmes that are on are better than watching that pile of shit perform in a Man United shirt. I can't sit there and watch highlights. I can't just sit there and basically let Man United get away with it. It's not fair. I can't sit there. I'll do Europa League previews now because we've bottled a European Cup we could have actually won. And no wonder we've lost. We've been embarrassed by Sevilla. Sevilla are probably going to be sat there fucking laughing their ass off. And I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame their fans for laughing their ass off. The Sevilla fans are probably having a big fucking massive party in Spain right now, getting their fucking maracas out and having bloody just everything that's went horribly wrong for United. There's no justification that those players tonight are a complete joke. I'm angry they've performed the way they did. We didn't deserve that. It's not fair. And Jacob, I've just subscribed to your YouTube channel, by the way. And by the way, your content is more epic than watching that pile of shit performing a Man United shirt. His content's really good, by the way. Jacob Esperson in the live chat. His content is more better than watching that pile of wank and dog poo performing a Man United shirt. That's like taking a girl out on a date on Valentine's Day night and then you realise United are playing. It's not going to be a romantic dinner. It's going to be a fucked up dinner because, Man United always let you down. Or that's like taking your dog out for a walk on the lead. Your dog does a shit, but the dog's shit is runny like having the shits on the toilet. And you're somehow having to clean it up, but the shit is runny instead of solid. That is watching that team. It is a complete joke. And if they get away with this tonight, I'm not just going to sit there and let them get away with it. Those players can do whatever they want. Please, sir, please don't criticise me. I was so fucking sorry. If I see any more bounce back on social media, I'm going for them. Because it's not fair. It really isn't fair. I don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. Man United fans, I'm sat here at home. And Robbie Savage is right. Man United fans are probably sat there tonight thinking, what the actual fuck? That's Manchester United. Where's this been? Because it's getting worse. This is not the manager's fault, by the way. I'm not blaming Erik ten Hag. I'm blaming everyone else around him for causing this mess tonight. Pinpoint the finger at them, not the manager, because this manager's been our best manager ever since the days of Sir Alex Ferguson. He's been our best manager since then and has actually delivered a trophy in season 1 where we've had to overachieved season because we've had to put our season into hype mode because the club has been so demanding of trophies and titles by the fans, by the supporters, because we've been so fed up of no trophies in 6 years. Well, the trophy drought is probably going to carry on now because we may have won the Carabao Cup. That was nearly 3 fucking months ago. And fans are still getting their dicks out about it, thinking, oh, look at us. We won the Carabao Cup. What? I could win the Mickey Mouse Cup in my sleep. I could win the Carabao Cup in my sleep. It's not that fucking hard of a trophy to win. And we've got so hyped about winning that one trophy, we have forgotten about the rest of the season. We forgot the Europa League. Man United have gone back into their own separate ways and thought, you know what? We don't need to win any more trophies. What are they all moaning at? What are they shouting about for? We've won a trophy. We've won the Carabao Cup. What? Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck and Goofy could probably win the fucking Carabao Cup. Because that Europa League you've bottled again. A winnable trophy that you should have won, you've bottled it. And you think it's acceptable to carry on the way it is. Well, I'm sorry, that's not okay with me. You were embarrassing from every minute of every touch of every poor pass, every ball you gave away, every time you lost possession. That was Man United in a nutshell. Completely different from the Nottingham Forest result. It's like we got so set in our ways after we won at the weekend thinking we're going to get top 4. Playing like that and we want top 4, we have got Chelsea still to play, Brighton and Spurs. Our next 3 games, Brighton, Spurs, Villa and Chelsea. Where's the wins coming from? Because Spurs will be looking at United result thinking, right, they'll bottle top 4. Chelsea are going to be sat there thinking, right, you might actually get a win this season. Aston Villa thinking, right, top 4 is still on. Brighton will be sat there. We can beat him in the FA Cup on Sunday evening. And it wouldn't surprise if Brighton do, because you look at the job Roberto De Zerbi is doing at Brighton. Much better than Graham Potter, because couldn't work a lot of magic at Chelsea. He isn't Harry Potter and ended up getting the sack, right? And the problem is, you look at that Brighton team and you look at the threat in every department Brighton have got. McAllister, Ferguson, Caicedo, Danny Welbeck, Undav, Adam Lallana. You look at that Brighton team, Caicedo, Solly March. Do I need to go on about the list of Brighton players? Because they're going to look at that Europa League result tonight and they're going to look at it from a bigger point. Wow, we did not expect Man United to perform the way they did against Sevilla. And we all expected Man United to win tonight. We all expected Manchester United to beat Sevilla and get this over the line and get us into that semi-final. But you look at it now and it's like, I don't recognise this team again. I look at those players, I look at the squad, and it's like, it looks completely night and day from what I've seen in the last few games. There was no attacking threat. There was no decent possession being kept with the ball. It's like we went to Sevilla and basically decided to shut out shop because we couldn't find a way to break Sevilla down. And they were winning every ball. Every ball that we gave away, Sevilla would just get into the ball first. Every tackle they would get into, every shot. We were just a complete car crash from a minute go. It was just so bad for Man United. It was just so bad that we performed the way we did. I'm very angry that we've done that to ourselves. We have shot ourselves in the fucking foot again because of poor player performances like that. And it'll be interesting to see the running stats and the amount of times we actually fought, because I didn't see any fight. I didn't see a team that wanted to win. I saw a team that has gone back into its own ways. I see a team that's just on its knees because of a lot of games we are having to keep playing. And maybe the break will help United now, but, you know, it's going to be tough now because you look at the games and you look at the results we've got to achieve now. I'm really disappointed by Man United tonight. I can't beat around the bush. I was excited tonight. I was even thinking of getting a takeaway. Thank God I didn't, because that would have been money down the drain being spent on this club. And I'm glad I didn't do it. My mum said, you know what? We're all going to cook together tonight. And we're going to have tea together. So glad we did, because I tell you what, watching that would have reduced that into tears. I could have sat there and cried. I was like, do you know what? I'm not going to sit there and cry, because I'll tell you what, it's not wrong for a man to show his emotions, but I felt like crying because it was like, do you know what? I actually wanted to win the Europa League. It would have been nice to win a European trophy. We're not even going to be there now. You look at the teams left in it: Roma, Juventus, Sporting Lisbon and Bayern Leverkusen. No disrespect, we could have beaten all 4 of them, but we can't even beat Sevilla. That says about the quality football that United are coming up against. Sevilla, who are 13th in the Liga, struggling to stay up in it, fighting relegation, had to sack their manager to do so to keep them afloat in the Liga, not to drop into Liga B. And it just looked like it was watching United in a relegation fight. It was like watching Southampton. That is how bad it looked tonight. It was just shocking in every single department. I'm going to keep going. We're going to do at least an hour because I'm just so disappointed. But that United team have just shown themselves that, do you know what, we're incapable of performing on the highest level. We haven't got the guts or the glory to be able to keep doing it at the level that this football club's looking for. And if the club can't do it, some of those players need to hold their hands up. But we know the culprits. We know the shit players. We know the trash, awful, disgraceful footballers we've got at this club. And you need to hang in your heads in shame. You need to have a hard, long look in that fucking mirror tonight and realise that, do you know what? You have let us all down. You have really, really damaged this result due to your poor possession of the ball, poor possession of attack, poor dispossession of the midfield. There was just nothing from that United team. We didn't stick together. We didn't stick together like glue. As soon as we went 1-0 down, we didn't find any response to that goal. As soon as it was 2-0, 2 minutes into the second half, and we've conceded a second. The game plan then went out the window. And you're having to then resource on the bench for Fred and Vedkhorst and Elanga. That is basically the team we've got. We've basically got a Bournemouth bench, if we're looking at it from a bigger point. That was like watching a Bournemouth bench play. And it was how bad that quality we don't have on that bench. You look at the bench quality around every top 6 club in the league, and it's like Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool and Spurs have all got better bench options than Man United. Because we haven't got what we want. We haven't got what we need. And is history going to repeat itself, just like Harry Potter found out in the second Harry Potter film in The Chamber of Secrets, when he found out it'd been opened for the second time in its history? History's repeated itself again. Is history going to repeat itself? Mourinho season 1 wins us the Europa League Carabao Cup. Erik ten Hag wins us the Carabao Cup. Season after, doesn't win a trophy. Season after that, sacked. Is it going to repeat itself? That's the big question I have to ask myself now. But I'm actually going to go enjoy the rest of my Thursday evening, and all of you should as well. You Man United fans deserve a break. You deserve to go and have a long, chill night. Go and put a decent film on. Go and listen to some music. Go and do what you love, enjoy, and do. Go and do some gaming. Go and do some content. Go in and do what you enjoy doing in life. Don't let this result get to you, because I tell you what, United will have to act now. Something needs to happen with this squad. A reality check needs to happen in training, because I'm very, very angry. There's no excuses. There is just nothing from that team that gets you excited. There's nothing in that team that can give you any. It was just dreadful. I can't believe what I've witnessed. I honestly cannot believe what I've just saw. That was not the Man United I know this season. That didn't look like the Carabao Cup winners. That didn't look like a top 4 team. That was just shambolic everywhere in that team tonight. No fight, no passion, no hunger, no desire. That team gave up again. They down tools under yet another manager. And history will repeat itself. This is all going to end in tears again. It will all end in Man United ending up having to sack Erik ten Hag because of poor recruitment, poor players, poor squad, deadwood team, poor strategy, poor recruitment level. Every factor at this club has to be taken into account that this is costing this team. This is costing results on the pitch. This is costing trophies. This is costing titles. It's not acceptable for that tonight. It felt like the Liverpool result all over again. It was like watching us lose that 7-0 all over again. And as soon as they found the third, I thought, do you know what? When's the 4th or 5th coming? Because that's how bad it could have got. But thank God it didn't. But 3-0 is a disgrace. To lose 3-0 to get Sevilla the way they did, it sums this club up. But do you know what? I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my Thursday. I'm going to have a nice hot bath, nice bubble bath to cheer me up, do some gaming. We're going to go and do some Hogwarts Legacy, actually. That's what we're going to go and do. We're going to go and do some Hogwarts Legacy. And we're going to go and do all the caves and hopefully find all the Hogsmeade pages. That's what I'm going to go and do now. Because I'm not going to let this Banter Football Club ruin the rest of my evening. Because do you know what? It's not worth it. Man United deserve the shit they get tonight. The players deserve what they get on social. They deserve the crap and the criticism they get as well. Go for those players. Target that club. Target those players. Because I'll tell you what, they need a right rocket up their ass tonight. Let me ask NASA if I can borrow the space shuttle to have right up their ass. And maybe I can just ask B&Q if I can borrow a shovel so the players can dig themselves out of their own shit tonight, because they were embarrassing, pathetic, useless, awful, woeful. Every name under the sun, they deserve it. They were a disgrace to the badge, the shirt, the team name. They were just nowhere near for a minute go. And like I said, go enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. Remember to hit the like button, the share button. Please subscribe to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and the community if you're all new. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember notification bell on, all times receive dedicated content right in front of the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. More Fortnite, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, FIFA 23 Career Mode, Football Manager, the new Formula 1 game. We're going to get in a new Disney Speedstorm game as well, so that's going to be coming next week as well. More previews, more reactions, and obviously, please join me for the preview tomorrow for the FA Cup semi-final preview between Brighton and Man United, and somehow I've got to find a way of talking a preview for an FA Cup semi-final for Manchester United. I mean, that's going to be really fun, #not. So yeah, join me for the preview tomorrow afternoon for Brighton versus Man United for the FA Cup semi-final on Sunday evening. Stay safe, be nice and be kind to each other, but what a disgrace of Man United. Manchester United Football Club have been knocked out of the UEFA Europa League this season. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. You're all legends and you're all legendary in your own way. Thanks for watching, guys. What a disgrace Man United were.